My girlfriend said I'm pregnant with triplets. Start planning. That's what my girlfriend told me one ordinary Thursday evening, right as I was plating our takeout, and trying to remember if I'd paid the electric bill. She stood there in our tiny apartment's kitchen, one hand on her belly, the other holding an ultrasound photo like a golden ticket. At first, I thought she was joking. Triplets. I laughed, half expecting her to grin and tell me it was some TikTok prank. But Jessica didn't laugh. Her eyes were glistening, her voice trembling with fake-sounding joy. Yes, Noah, 3. Can you believe it? We did it. I froze. The word "we" hit me right in the chest. For the past year, we had been struggling through fertility treatments, endless doctor visits, negative pregnancy tests that turned our bathroom into a crime scene of hope and disappointment. I'd seen Jessica cry in the shower more times than I could count. And now, just like that, we'd supposedly hit the jackpot. Triplets. I whispered again, this time softer, like I was afraid the word might vanish if I said it too loud. She nodded, her smile wide and rehearsed. Start planning, she said, placing the ultrasound into my hand like it was proof of some miracle. And for a brief, stupid moment, I let myself believe her. I pulled her into my arms, spun her around, kissed her hair. That's amazing, Jess. Incredible. Inside, something already felt off. But I pushed it down. When you've been chasing hope for a year, your brain learns to ignore the little noises of doubt. That night, I called my parents, told them they were going to be grandparents times 3. My mum screamed. My dad started talking about minivans and college funds. I opened Zillow and started looking at bigger places. 3 bedrooms minimum. I even downloaded a pregnancy tracking app. For a few days, life felt like a dream, loud, fast, and full of purpose. But beneath the celebration, I couldn't shake this quiet voice whispering, something doesn't add up. It started with her phone. Jessica had always been careless with it. She'd scroll TikTok beside me, leave it charging on the couch, never even used a lock screen. But suddenly, it was face down all the time. New password. Notifications off. Every time it buzzed, she'd grab it before I could even glance at the screen. Work stuff, she'd say. Brandon's helping me plan the nursery. Brandon, her gay best friend. He'd been in her life for years. The funny bartender she swore was like a brother to her. I liked him, honestly. He made Jessica laugh, and in 4 years together, I'd never had a reason to distrust him. But now, he was everywhere. Doctor appointments, shopping trips, late-night cravings for pickles. Brandon was there for all of it. If I couldn't make it, he went instead. Babe, it's fine, Jessica said one night, scrolling through her phone with that practiced calm that always made me suspicious. He just helps me stay relaxed. You know how I stress. Yeah, I muttered. I know. But the truth was, I didn't. I didn't understand why she'd rather talk to him than me. Why she never added me to that pregnancy app she promised I'd get access to. I'll send you the invite later, she'd say, every time. She never did. Then came the email. It was a random Tuesday. I'd come home early from work, a rare thing for me, and Jessica was still out at her prenatal yoga class. Her laptop was open on the kitchen counter. I swear, I wasn't snooping. I just wanted to check the weather before my evening run. But the notification caught my eye, a preview window flashing on her screen. DNA test results attached as requested. My pulse kicked up. I shouldn't look. I knew I shouldn't, but my hand moved anyway. I clicked. Inside was a PDF file, clinical, sterile, dated 3 weeks earlier. Paternity findings. The father, Brandon, Lewis. Probability of paternity, 99.999%. I stared at it for what felt like hours. My stomach turned ice cold. My heart pounded so hard it drowned out every sound around me. She knew. She'd known for weeks, and still she let me dream. She let me spend thousands on cribs and baby clothes and stupid matching onesies that said Daddy's Little Miracle. She let me call my parents, my friends, tell everyone I was finally going to be a dad. When my vision finally cleared, I started reading the rest of the email chain, each one like a dagger. Please confirm that my partner will not be notified. Can the results be disputed if needed? He's too excited to question anything right now. That last line hit me hardest. She wasn't just unfaithful. She was strategic. In another email to Brandon, she'd written, "Just play along until they're born. I'll tell him later. Maybe we'll say it's genetics or something." Brandon replied, "Jess, this is so messed up. We should tell him. No, I need his insurance and stability. You can't afford triplets on your salary. Once things settle, we'll figure it out." That was the moment I stopped shaking. I sat there, surrounded by the remnants of our future, and something inside me went still. Not broken, not angry, just quiet, because right then I knew what I had to do. I took photos of everything, the emails, the attachments, the times, forwarded them to my personal email, saved them in multiple folders, just in case. And then I smiled, because Jessica had no idea that her perfect little lie was about to implode, not in private, not with whispers or tears, but in front of everyone she'd ever tried to impress. The baby shower was in 6 days, and I had a show to prepare. For the next 6 days, I became the man she wanted me to be, the doting boyfriend, the proud father-to-be, the idiot who smiled at baby name lists and painted imaginary nurseries. Every "I love you" that left my mouth tasted like poison, but I said it anyway. I had to, because Jessica couldn't suspect a thing. Every night, she'd text her mum or Brandon about baby shower details, thinking I was busy at work. But I was planning to. Not centerpieces or catering, but the presentation that would end her little performance once and for all. I remember sitting in our living room, surrounded by pastel decorations, and thinking how strange it was that betrayal can coexist with so much beauty. Pink ribbons, blue balloons, and the ugliest truth underneath them. Jessica was glowing that week, walking on air. I guess lying looked good on her. Every time she mentioned our babies, my jaw would clench. She'd say things like, "Brandon already bought matching onesies. Isn't he the sweetest godfather?" Godfather, right. He was around constantly, pretending not to flinch every time he looked at me. The guilt on his face was almost comical, but I never said a word. I'd smile, hand him a drink, and let him think he was winning. Then came Thursday, 2 days before the shower, when Jessica's mum cornered me in the hallway. "You need to man up." "Noah," she said, her voice dripping with that suburban righteousness that always made me want to laugh. "My daughter is carrying your 3 children. You should start thinking about selling that motorcycle. Babies are expensive." I smiled so wide it probably scared her. "Don't worry, Mrs. Carson," I said. "Everything will be crystal clear after the shower." She looked confused. "What do you mean by that?" you'll see. And she did. Friday night, Jessica tried to get intimate for the first time in weeks. Her sudden affection felt forced, desperate, like she was trying to tighten the leash before it snapped. She kissed my neck, whispered, "I love you. I can't wait to see our family grow." Her words used to mean something. Now they sounded like static. "After tomorrow," she said, curling into my chest, "we should start looking for houses. Brandon found a few in this cute neighborhood. Great schools. Brandon's really involved, huh?" I said quietly. She laughed, a little too high-pitched. "He's just excited to be an uncle." "Sure, uncle." I stared at the ceiling that night and thought about how far people would go to protect a lie. By the time morning came, I wasn't angry anymore. Just ready. The baby shower was held at her parents' place. A huge 2-story home in the suburbs, with a backyard big enough for a wedding. Her mum had hired a caterer, rented tables, even set up a pastel balloon arch that said welcome. Little miracles. 50 people showed up. Family, co-workers, friends. Everyone who thought they were celebrating something beautiful. Jessica looked radiant, wearing this flowy cream dress that hugged her growing belly. She moved through the crowd like a queen greeting her subjects. Brandon followed her everywhere, carrying gifts, refilling her drink, brushing her hair off her shoulder. My parents were there too, proud, emotional, already arguing over which of the triplets would take after which grandparent, and me. I was calm, almost peaceful, because I knew exactly how this day would end. After lunch, Jessica stood near the cake, glowing in the golden sunlight. "Everyone," she said into the mic, "thank you for being here. Noah has something special he wants to show you." He made a little slideshow of our journey to parenthood. Applause, cheers, cameras ready. I took the mic and smiled. "Yeah, this one's from the heart. Thank you all for celebrating with us." I plugged in my laptop, connected it to the outdoor screen, and hit play. The first few slides were sweet photos of us at the fertility clinic, holding the first positive test. Her ultrasound picture, our goofy selfies, everyone or Ed. Then the next slide appeared, title, "The Truth About Fatherhood." The crowd went silent. On screen, the DNA test, Brandon's name, the 99.999% probability. A ripple went through the crowd, gasps, whispers, the kind of stunned silence that's almost physical. Jessica's smile vanished. "Noah, what is this?" I didn't answer. The next slide showed her emails, her messages to the clinic, her conversations with Brandon. The line highlighted in yellow, "He's too excited to question anything right now." Someone's hand flew to their mouth. Jessica's mother started shaking her head. "This can't be real." "Oh, it's real," I said, my voice even. "Jessica, would you like to explain to your family how you planned to let me raise another man's triplets?" Brandon froze like a deer in headlights. His boyfriend, Antonio, who I hadn't even noticed until that moment, stood up from the back row. "Brandon," he said, voice trembling, "what the hell is this?" "Tony, it's not, don't you dare." Antonio ripped off his ring and threw it into the grass. We were engaged. Gasps, murmurs, chaos. Jessica reached for me, tears already smearing her mascara. "Noah, please, I can explain." I took a step back. "You lied to me. You lied to everyone here. You used me for money and insurance while you carried his kids. They're your kids too." She screamed, desperation cracking her voice. "No," I said, "they're not." and they never will be. Her sister grabbed the mic from the DJ. Jess, is this true? You cheated. It wasn't cheating. We were on a break. I laughed bitterly. No, Jess. Check the dates. You slept with him while we were literally trying for a baby. The crowd erupted. People were yelling, crying, walking out. Jessica's father looked ready to explode. Her mother tried to shield her face. And Brandon just stood there, pale, shaking, muttering something about it being a mistake. My lawyer friend Ethan called out from the crowd. For the record, that's paternity fraud. He could press charges. Jessica's knees buckled. She dropped into a chair, sobbing. You humiliated me, she cried. No, I said softly. You humiliated yourself. I just turned on the lights. The rest of the day was a blur of shouting, tears, and shattered illusions. Her father screamed at her mother. Her mother screamed at Brandon's parents. Antonio stormed out. My mum hugged me, whispered, You did the right thing, and left. When it was finally over, Jessica sat in the wreckage of balloons and gift wrap, her mascara running like black rivers. I looked at her one last time. You wanted me to start planning, Jess, I said. Well, I did. Just not the future you imagined. Then I walked away, and I didn't look back. When she realized what I'd done, she showed up at my place, crying, shaking, begging me to fix this mistake. She said, I didn't mean it like that. I just wanted to understand how things would work after marriage. I stayed quiet for a long time, then asked, Did you ever plan to tell me about that meeting? Her silence told me everything. A few hours later, her mother called, furious. Apparently, my fiancé had told her family I was overreacting and that I'd ruined her reputation. But the truth is, I didn't remove her from my life. I just removed her from my inheritance. 2 days later, I found out through a mutual friend that she met with another lawyer, this time, to ask if she could still claim any part of my assets based on engagement gifts. That was my final confirmation. I called off the engagement. When she came to collect her things, she asked me, So that's it? You're choosing money over love? I said, No, I'm choosing trust over manipulation. A week after the breakup, my dad invited me over for dinner. He didn't say much, just poured me a drink and said, Sometimes, protecting your peace costs more than money. That hit me harder than I expected. I kept thinking about all the little signs. I ignored the way she'd ask about financial plans more than future plans, how her smile always widened when money came up, and how I confused comfort with love. The house felt emptier, quieter, but not lonely. For the first time in years, I could breathe without second-guessing someone's intentions. Realized that trust isn't built in fancy dinners or promises about forever. It's in the quiet. Honesty between two people who don't need a lawyer to define love, so no. I didn't lose a fiancé. I just avoided marrying the wrong person, and maybe that's the best kind of luck life could give me.